Greetings, Pathfinders. I'm your host, Dustin Knight, with our special guest, Helen Savore, and welcome back to another edition of Infiknight Reviews. Tonight, we are reviewing the Origami Folder Archetype, along with Pathfinder Infinite author Helen Savore, author of Vellum Lace, also known as Paper Ninja. Welcome, Helen.
Hi, Dustin. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming. This could be great. So, first, though, I do need to clarify that all views on this show are my own and have not been reviewed or endorsed by Paizo. My ongoing goal is to showcase and review as many products on Pathfinder and Starfinder Infinite as possible. If you have any requests for products I haven't already given a thorough review, please feel free to contact me on social media or catch me on my Discord at infinite.net. So, welcome to the show, Helen. Can you tell us more about your background and experience with Pathfinder?
I did come into Pathfinder as a 3.5 player. That was really my entry into tabletop RPG. And I was really struggling. I couldn't remember what game it was specifically where we went to Pathfinder instead. We definitely did a bunch of Kingmaker, and I was
Mm.
really sorry I didn't get to keep that character. She was part tree, part elf, and we didn't have the rules for it in Pathfinder first. But now in second, I could have been a Leshy.
Oh, man, yeah.
But I was really jazzed to see when second was under development, seeing, just who was going to be working on it, going redesigned from the ground up, less of being a 3.5 thing. And I've just been loving it so much. I wish I had more time to play.
Oh man, you're telling me. Yeah. Um that sounds incredible. I love the half elf half tree. That's great. Um there's some possibly twisted crossover here with Origami Folder and that being your character from Pathfinder. Real quick shout out here. Just want to thank Numbat for subscribing. That's awesome. Thank you very much for supporting the
Thank you,
stream.
not bad.
So I'm a huge fan of Vellum Lace. I've been reading it since the prequel came out. I absolutely love it. Right now, I think it's my only fiction that I'm actually reading right now. It's great.
Oh,
So,
wow.
when did you first get involved in fantasy writing, and what inspired you to be an author?
I've been doing writing more seriously for about a decade now.
Mm-hmm.
And the big joke was that my boss took me aside one day and is like, "You are working too many hours. You are going to burn out. You need a hobby." And I said, "I will write and have a second job." Um, but it's been great. I only started really publishing things a few years ago. It took a while to get some of those first few uh, books out of my system.
Mm-hmm.
But I like writing. I don't know. I like writing fantasy. Everybody says write the book that you want that you don't see. And
Mm.
I have a hard time finding comps because I can't find exactly, what I'm writing, but that's great. I'm filling it in. And sometimes, I'm like, man, I want to go back and read my old stuff because I just want to get that feeling again, and I can't find it anywhere else.
Mm.
So my first series was very Arthurian focused. I love those legends, and it's the world's biggest fanfic. Everybody has their interpretation, so it feels very safe to go in and do kind of your own thing there. So that's what I've been doing for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely. And I see some of your books behind you right there, right?
Yes, I tried to
Yes.
line things up. Not my first rodeo. My third.
Excellent.
That's all though. Only my third.
Oh man, that's really cool. I need to check some of those out myself. Um yeah. So and
You
I
mentioned sorry.
no, go ahead.
I think you mentioned a previous stream something about liking time loops, and I think we were
Mm.
both
Mhm.
listening to the No Direction where Luis Loza was talking about Majora's Mask.
Yes.
So Camelot Crumbles does have Majora's Mask inspirations, and I would love to get you a copy sometime. I
Oh,
think I think you might enjoy that one.
oh, that would be
Let's
awesome.
see. Which one is
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, we were
really
talking
nice.
about artwork on the server earlier. If we have
Uh-huh.
spare time, maybe we can talk about stock art.
Yes, yes. If you check out infinite.net server, there's a bunch of creator resources there, like great sources for stock art, great sources for finding the perfect Paizo community use artwork for your Pathfinder and Starfinder Infinite product. Um, as those get more and more compiled, we will have more and more resources for creators and fans of creators. So, I also see that you are a big origami enthusiast. I noticed after you released this book. I assume that's where you got your screen name Paper Ninja?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So what did...
I've been folding since I was 9.
Oh, okay, cool. And what really drew you into that?
It's hard to remember. I was
Mm.
9.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
um, Gosh, I should have had it right here. I still have the book that I kept taking out from the library and destroyed, aka bought, borrowed. I'm not sure anymore. I don't know. Paper folding is something you can. It's like a fidget toy to some degree.
Mm.
I needed help with concentrating sometimes, and my doodles are awful. I can't read or write anything afterwards that I've seen. So, you fold, and everybody, they're very respectful of it because they're like, oh, you're making something neat. Nobody's going to say, stop fiddling with that paper. So,
Right, right.
um, I've just done that for years.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. Oh, we have a shout out from Mari Dietz in chat.
Hi, Mari. Mari
Oh,
is one of my great writer friends.
oh, awesome, awesome. Do you have any origami you want to show us today?
Oh gosh, I can do so many. Let's make sure we got the fox.
I
Here we
love it.
go.
It's so cute.
So I almost said I should ask Dustin what the fox should be in the book, but then I came up with an idea. But I wanted to make sure I included one because you've
Oh,
done so
thank you
much for
so
Infinite,
much.
so I needed to make sure there was a fox.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'll probably just fiddle with them as we're talking. It's
That's fair.
just
That's
what I
fair.
do. So.
I love it. Now, is this the first time you've incorporated origami into tabletop gaming?
It actually is. It's
Hmm.
kind of silly. You think I would have figured it out earlier.
Okay.
But yeah, this is the first time it was a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking, I forgot who I was talking with. Mari, was it in our server read? How can I do some more origami with the writing? And I'm not writing the right book for it. And I didn't want to skip ahead like 10 books. And I'm
Mm.
like, wait a second, I can do that with my Pathfinder stuff. And I
Mm.
really
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do something with rules, like, Vellum and Lace is fiction, and the Edgewatch missing persons. It's a little bit more lore than anything really crunchy for anybody who's checked that out. So I was like, I want to try a rule thing, and I realized this is perfect. I love origami. I know origami. So yeah, I just dug in.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I prepped to use the Edgewatch Missing Persons book in my own campaign. My PCs went another direction. It's kind of a open world urban fantasy, so I need
Oh
as
yeah,
many
that's
things as I
great.
could get. But it's still there. They haven't discluded it for the campaign. Like, there's still a possibility they'll get back to it at some point. We'll see. Uh, I hope they do. So let's go ahead though and start our deep dive here of the origami folder. Uh,
Yes.
let's pull this up. All right. So the first thing we have here. All right. So first thing we have here is we have some background here on origami, how it fits in Galarian, and some rules here about how origami are kind of similar to fulus, kind of similar to talismans. You gave us here the actions for affixing a talisman or affixing an origami to an armor, weapon, shield, creature, or structure to get your cool effects. So yeah, it does especially with the dedication, it does remind me very much of the Talisman Dabbler.
Yes, I looked at that heavily. I
Mm-hmm.
was looking at Talisman Dabbler, Scroll Trickster, Alchemist, and I looked at Arcane Archer for like 2 minutes and realized it
Mm.
wasn't going to help.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, hey, what deals with items to try to figure out what would
Exactly.
make sense to fit with this.
Cool. Yeah, that's a really fun archetype. That's the one I played on stream when we played the Otari book
Okay,
at No Direction. So I was really
gotcha.
excited to see that was the base of it because that is a really fun archetype that I'd
Hmm.
love to see reworked like this. I would have totally played this instead. Was this out? Um,
Oh,
so let's go here. You have a new trait in the book called Stacked.
yes.
Yes, it lets you
So
stack.
I needed something to I wanted to do groups of origami because you don't just fold one, you fold a bunch of them. Like I got a whole box here of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to figure out a way that I can control and not make it massive because my first version of the crane swarm I was looking at, I'm like, you could do some really bad stuff with that if you just could fold indefinitely. That's not fair.
Yeah, yeah.
So I realized after writing for 4 different origami, this concept of it was limited. I'm like, okay, let's just make a trait for this.
Mm. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I love the appearance here, by the way. This border here. I'll move here to page 3 so people can
Oh,
see.
good.
These are the 2 pages kind of stuck together, since that's how I show the PDFs on stream. But I love this border of all these different origami. Is all the origami in this book ones you folded?
I'd say 90%.
Okay.
There are a few that are very solid colored. I did get a little bit of stock art to just fill it in when I was just like, I am not in the mood to fold a pig anymore. Just I want to get the book done.
That makes
But
sense.
most of this is mine, and I've thought about actually selling it back. Probably for a cent. No one else wants it.
Hmm.
But like making a stock pack around this stuff.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah, because if I played an origami folder, I am definitely bringing either learning how to do these or something, bringing the origami with me to, if anything, just remind me of what origami I made that day with my dedication. As each
So,
day you get 4 origami with a
mhm,
level no higher than half your level.
yeah.
Yeah.
I almost thought about waiting and holding off on this to put instructions in,
Mm,
but instructions take so much time. Like
yeah.
even though the copyright on origami instructions is very loose to take the time to make it accurate and readable, it just wasn't worth it for this. But I would like to do that at some point. Is like make a folder to for people who just want to bring a little bit to their game table. Or my website actually has references to a bunch of good stuff, but that's not as fun as having the pictures yourself.
Oh, right. Yeah, your website. That is, do you want to shout out that address right now?
Oh, oberonsforgepress.com. Probably should have had that link ready to go.
Yes, I have it ready to go right here.
Oh wow, you got it.
Haha. All right.
There
So
is there's an origami resources right there, right next to all the like who is in books, because origami's been kind of some part of my thing, and even though it's the first time I've written it into something.
awesome.
When I go to conferences, I usually bring a few. Mari knows this. I'll sit at a different table and then just leave these, and people are like, "Where did they come from?" So these dragons up on above, and I'm not sure you can tell they're dragons. They look kind of like flying things. I actually did that during a speech from one of our writing seminars. People do a story about drawing out the dragons, so I just did as many dragons as I could during it and lined them right up in front of me.
Gotcha. Cool. Um, all right. So the first feat that really shouted out to me and what was talked about in the Discord chat when this product was posted was using origami as a weapon. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
were you happen to be inspired? What happened? What inspired you for that? Because I think that's
It's
crazy
been
cool.
years ago, but you guys were right. Paper from Read or Died. Stop paper. And like
Oh
I've
man,
always loved that. I thought that was hilarious. Just use papers to do everything. So
right?
yeah, you got it.
Man, yeah, that was one of my first subtitled anime. So I
Oh
remember that
really?
really. Yeah, the OAV. I remember that really fondly. And man, that's really cool. Yeah, because the weaponized folds here lets you spend an action to fold origami in such a way that you could use it with your fists, which
Hmm.
you could use it for anything you use a fist with, except you'll do slashing instead of bludgeoning damage. Which I love that because there's so much you could do with this at that point. And so many other classes that and archetypes that you could combine with this to get a lot of cool effects out of a single feat.
Yeah.
And if you do damage, you could affix an origami by, using your weaponized fold.
Mhm.
Which
That was one of the things I wanted to make sure I didn't lose from origami separated from Fulu. I didn't want to cross the traditions, but the
right.
fact you can slap a Fulu on people and there is no check. I'm
Mm.
like, that's amazing. Let's make sure we can just keep slapping these origami on. I mean, they can notice it, they can take an interact action to take it off, but it's like I don't, I want to be able to use this stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna punch you and put it on.
Man, yeah, now I'm really surprised that I've never seen a talisman magus, a Fulu magus, like whatever you want to call it like that. Because, like, now it
Yeah,
seems so obvious. It's like, how have I not thought of that before or seen it before? Like, here it is. It's great. I love it.
I only thought of it 3 weeks ago. It's all good.
All right. So wearable art, 4th level feat, lets you tuck origami onto your person so they're immediately available. You could retrieve origami, a base fold, or a single sheet of paper on your person as a free action if your next action is to quick fold, use, or fix an origami. So that helps you with your action economy. So you're not spend an action to pull it out, spend an action to fold it, and then spend an action to affix it is not the best use of your actions in combat. But if you have this feat, hey, you got it. And then I feel like I should pull up Quick Fold right now, as this mentioned that. Quick Fold lets you as a single action, basically at the beginning of each day, instead of going, I'll make these 4 exact origami, you can make like base folds, you called
2,
them?
3,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, base folds. And then kind of spend the action to finish it up later, which gives you a really good amount of versatility.
There is a concept of, a lot of origami does come from some base things. It's surprising all the things you can fold from a square fold, and now I can't find mine right now, obviously, to show it.
That's fine.
But it's you can do a lot from these, so it just kind of drew from that concept. You can get halfway there and then get a lot of different stuff. I thought about making a tree of from this fold. You can get these, but I backed off on the complexity of that.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I really like that. That was always the scariest part of trying to play Talisman Dabbler, was at the beginning of each day being like, I don't know if we'll need these or not, guys. Like this might just be useless. Because a lot of them tend to be niche, which when you combine it with a feat like this, it's excellent. Delayed activation, love this idea too. You can place the talisman as single action, and then later as an action you could activate it. It's great. It's fine. It's perfect. It makes sure you're not going to waste it by putting it on. You're not going to have it activate due to a reason that you don't want it to activate, per se. Oh, Numbat is in chat asking, does origami always start with a square? Can you start with another shape and still be origami?
Yes, you can. All the ones I folded for this are square. I'm kind of actually no, wait, one of them wasn't. But I start with the square and then I rip it apart because I'm very silly. But this little coat actually was a rectangle, but you can kind of see maybe you can see, probably not on the camera, the tear lines. But I traditionally like to use squares because I just carry around a bunch of squares of paper and I feel that's very convenient. I also subscribe to the version of origami where it's just paper, no scissors, no tape. But that's actually not the traditional. Like, you can go back, centuries, and they just did whatever they wanted to.
Right.
I'm just hardcore.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, some of the old Fulu were literally glued together pieces of paper. Lots and lots of paper glued together. So they definitely knew about gluing paper ages and ages ago. I mean, paper is kind of glued together bits of wood pulp. So they definitely had the glue before the paper, probably. I don't know.
I would guess so, actually. Yeah.
Yes. So that's impressive, man. I've tried myself a little bit. I've managed to get that kind of the flat fox that you could see down there on the lower right below that right here. Oh, you can't see my mouse on the screen. It's down there.
But I'm pointing.
Yeah, I did that like once, and it was nowhere near as good as that. You've really, these are fantastic shapes. I love these. I absolutely love these little origami pieces here.
If anyone wants to practice, I'm going to do a series of kind of fold and chills over the next few weeks.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of fun to just lean back and do it. And I can talk more about this if anybody has questions, or maybe talk about my other books. But I was actually going to do one yesterday, but if I'm streaming today with you, we'll just postpone that.
Oh.
But the catch line I had was, come find out which item my husband think is the most OP. So I will not share that tonight. And when I announce that fold stream, we can come check it out. Awesome. But yeah, if people want to learn some, I'll be doing some.
Oh, okay, cool. Continuing on, we do have Fast Folder, which lets you craft 4 origami at their full price in a single day of downtime. Of course, if you are using the Legendary Crafter, you might want to use that to expand on the Legendary Crafter feat that lets you fold more or create more bulk items at one point. Otherwise, again, great feat. You always want to make more consumables, as they are consumables. I'll
call it out. There's a typo. I will fix that. I promise. Infinite's down, so I can't upload it right now. That is a feat level 6, not 2.
Gotcha. Yes, Infinite is unfortunately down right now, like you said, but as soon as it's up, I will. Well, I'll post the link now. If people want to save this link, this is where you can find this product, and I'll post it at the end of the stream, and maybe Infinite will be back up by then. But there is the link to the product right there in chat. I forgot to ask already though. Do you have a favorite feat here that we haven't already talked about, or one that you especially enjoy that you want to talk about?
It was actually delayed asphyxiation,
Oh, okay.
because just the ability of I can wait for this to go off, because I wanted to make these not just supporting or utility. I wanted them to be a little bit offensive too, and not just I'm punching with them. But the bunnies, it's like you could use the bunnies to not just with your friends carry them along, but I'm going to get an enemy to come along with me.
Gotcha.
And like even the boat, like which is going to make the ground kind of slick. How would I place that and then step before, so I don't have to get slick to the ground? So
Awesome.
that lets me do a lot, I think.
I love it. Awesome. All right. So I do love too that you don't have to pick how long the delay is. Like that's one thing that always irked me about Delay Blast Fireball is it's like I gotta pick it when I cast the spell. Like I don't know. I don't know when the enemy will be in range. But with this, no, you get to snap your finger and have the origami go off, which really fun and gonna create some fun visuals there at the table. We got a feat called Refold. It lets you spend 10 minutes to change a daily origami from one to another. Again, great for those of us who are scared that we picked the wrong choice. And suddenly we find ourselves, I don't know, in a completely different environment where the climbing lizard isn't so useful because now we're underground or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man. Throne asphyxiation's really cool. Getting big reader die vibes again. You could treat your origami like a dart. Yes, you could throw it with a ranged strike, and if they're willing or mindless, the DC is only 10, so you're probably going to hit, and it lets you attach the origami at a range within 30 feet, which it's great. Does the dart mean it will do damage?
I guess I should clarify. It's not supposed to, but just in case there are any other effects for, people, getting hit by something, I wanted to give it something.
Right. I mean, there's the critical
I don't know.
weapon.
I'm immune to darts.
Yeah. I mean, there's the critical weapon specialization for darts.
Oh, shoot. Now I forgot what it was. Oh.
It is...
I do not have
1d6 persistent bleed. So that is a nasty bleeding... paper cut.
Yeah, maybe I should put that in. Yeah, it counts as a dart. It's an attack too.
Yeah.
What do you think, folks? Let me know. Contact me if you think I should change that. Is it still feat level 8 then, though?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 actions to do a single strike like that. I think it'd be fine. It's fine. I mean, you're only getting the critical bleed on a crit, and bleed doesn't stack anyway. Like I think it's fine.
Okay.
If it was like,
I will add that.
Yeah. It'll be fine. If it was like stunned or something, I'd be like, maybe not, but just the 1d6
you can do a lot with stunned. Oof.
Yeah.
I love conditions in Pathfinder too. Just the way you can, know what this does. You can stack, and it all just, there's something very elegant about managing the conditions in it.
Yeah, it really is. The design team did a great job. Developer team, the designers did a great job assembling a very easy to remember, succinct list of fun status effects that we get to use here in our products. Eldritch Dream suggests in chat you could add a line about the strike not dealing damage. Okay. Yes.
But now I like this paper cut idea. But you're right, I could add that.
Yeah,
let's do a poll.
Let's do a poll. Yes, should the origami do damage or not? Let's do a poll.
You gotta.
Yes. So bespelling folds. You have to cast spells. Love the idea behind this. You could sacrifice spell slots to instead get daily origami. That's really neat. I like that a lot. It's equal to a quarter of your level rounded down in place of, any spell slot. Yeah, that's really cool. Because as I was reading up to this, I was thinking like maybe like monk, Inventor came to mind, of course, creating items. But then I saw this with the ability to cast spells, and now I'm like, wow, there's a lot of different classes that work really well with this, actually, now that I think about it. Were there any classes you were thinking of when you were writing this, or what would be your favorite class to use for this archetype?
So I was at first going to delay this until I had a few examples, but I wanted to put this out first.
Okay.
I'm going to explore a few. So the next thing I'm going to do for this is actually put together a why am I blanking on it? The Naruto thing. Fist of the Ruby Phoenix team.
Yes.
That is all origami archetypes, but with different things. So, one's probably going to be a monk with the punching that feels like it. But figuring out what's the right spellcaster for it, maybe even go something towards like maybe Witch or Oracle, like something a little bit more mysterious with that. And somebody suggested Bard. I don't know what the Kubo movie is, but it looks adorable. So I'll probably do that. So yeah, just wanted to try out a few different ones. So I make no promise when that'll be available, but that's what I'm working on next.
Awesome. Wow, yeah, that'd be great. I can't wait to see more of that. This feels like a good time to also point out this sidebar here. I love this. It says if you want more origami, there's a modular origami expansion already in the works that will let you put spells into your origami. And then the question, do you have any ideas? I'd love to hear them. If we get a bunch and you'd like to share back to Pathfinder Infinite, I'll format and revenue split another bundle. I love that. It's like the essence of Pathfinder Infinite in a product.
Exactly. I don't want to say I struggled, but I came up with these, and I cut it off at this 17 or 18. I had a few more ideas, but this felt like right. It filled up about 2 pages, but there's so much we can do, and I'm not going to come up with all the good ideas. Right. I feel a little sad that I don't get to play test as much as all my colleagues in the Infinite Discords. I feel like you guys get to try things out. I only have so much time, so I have to just study all the spells and rules. But if people are playing and say, hey, this would be a great idea for an origami, let's just share it back. And I now have all of this lovely stock I did for this, and I'd love to fold more things. So if people have ideas, let's do it. Let's put it together.
All right. And you could find Helen Savore if you have more ideas to share with on her Discord. If you have an invite
I think
link
I linked.
Or on our Discord at infiknight.net.
Nobody comes to my Discord. Nobody cares about it. Aww. Let's go talk on the Infinite Discord.
Okay, then you can check that out on infiknight.net. She's there under Paper Ninja, and that'd be a great way to get involved on Infinite, getting a few items out there, getting an idea of what it's like to write for Pathfinder. And then finally, the big feat, the 12th level feat, Paper Cache. Your collection of paper grows. Each day during daily preparations, you can now create a number of origami equal to half your level. Awesome. So you get more origami, just what you wanted. That's great. But of course, a review like this wouldn't be complete without looking at the actual origami items, because frankly, even if you're a GM or you're a player who doesn't have room for an archetype in your build, these are a bunch of really great new items, and they're all in this book. So don't think of this as only an archetype book, because we also have 3 pages of origami items.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, these make great treasures. I love using talismans as treasures, especially ones that you can affix just instantly, because players do tend to forget to have talismans, or if they have them, they'll use them up. And talismans are great ways to encourage the use of consumable items, given most of them have trigger conditions. So usually when they get the trigger condition, they'll be like, okay, now I'm going to use it. Makes a lot of sense. All right, so which one of these, we'll just start off asking you, which one of these is your favorite, or favorite today, favorite this minute?
It's the bunny one. It's so it's so silly, but I was just saying Fist of the Ruby Phoenix kind of feels a little like Naruto Chunin exam. But have you ever noticed all the ninjas keep up with each other? Like, they can be far behind, but they always catch up to the lead ninja.
Right.
So that's the bunny one. It's like you're gonna catch up within reason to it, and then that was meant for allies. And once I realized that had battle applications, I'm like, oh, it's not just exploration, it's battle, it's this, that. It just seems so flexible. And bunnies are just so cute and fun to fold. It's like it looks like it's hard, but after you learn like one like swing fold, they're actually not that bad to do. So these would be really fun. You just thinking about like, tapping your friends, bunny, 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 and just hopping along. I love the idea of it.
That's great. Yes, so you have one lead bunny, and all the others are followers, and when the lead moves,
Hmm.
all the followers will follow after them.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that is one that uses the new stack trait. You kind of have
Yep.
to because you need multiple bunnies, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they're really cute.
Hmm.
Oh man. In fact, they're so cute. Can I? I could. I'm gonna zoom in on these real quick. Ha 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 ha
Oh,
ha
the bunny
ha.
bunnies.
Where are they? There they are. They're the bunnies. Yay!
Okay.
Little hoppy bunnies. All right.
So when I was designing this, these actually had motion blurs at first, but
Mm.
Hubs was right. It would have been a little too unclear. But I'm like, they're running fast. They're bunnies.
Well, you're running fast, but you have a really good camera. There you go. All right.
Oh yeah, I had a whole origami photo shoot a couple weeks ago when I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, I need to now. I can't scan them. I want to get their shadows and
Right. Right.
texture.
Yeah. Well, it came out looking great. So
Oh, thank you.
we'll go over these by level then.
Yeah.
Starting at level 1, we got Healing Heart. When you take damage, it heals you a d8 hit points. It's worded in such a way that you will get the healing even if you're at full when you took the damage, even though it's a reaction. So, yay. Um, Leapfrog lets you get jump higher. On your next high jump, you increase the degree of success. You do not automatically fail for not striding 10 feet first. Perfect. It's a leapfrog.
I feel
Man,
bad it's too close to grasshopper, but I couldn't not do a frog.
right, right. They're classic. I mean, I think
Yeah,
when we did origami in elementary school, that was one of the most popular, and people flicking them around their desks.
exactly.
Oh man. And then messenger pigeon. It
Hmm.
lets you. It's a stack, so you can make multiples,
Yep.
and you can release them, and they count as messages. Perfect.
Hmm.
Wonderful. You totally need that too. Like that's just a classic use of origami
Yeah.
in fiction.
Hmm.
This one interested me. What? How does the climbing lizard work?
um, let's see. The climbing lizard. The idea was you put it on a surface and it would make it climbable somehow.
Oh, okay,
There
cool.
have been discussions about if 10 minutes is appropriate or not, because, well, if you have a climb speed of that, you can get pretty far. But I wanted it to be an exploration-based activity, not just trying to, if it's only 1 minute in exploration, it feels like you can't use it. So
Exactly.
I might not have tuned it well, but yeah, I just thought about I put a lizard on, and if it's on a tree, it becomes, like handholds. If it's on a big castle, it's like maybe a ladder or something. But gecko might have been better. I love folding that lizard though. So
Yeah,
I'm just climbing along. I'll make a surface.
yeah. The
So that's
lizard's
that's
great.
definitely a utility item.
It is. I think 10 minutes is perfect for that. You never
Okay.
know when you need to like haul up a bunch of stuff from one end to another, or you go up and then you realize we need to get back down.
Yeah.
This was a mistake. So yeah, that works fine. Fox Flurry. It's called a fox. All right, so there's a little
Yep.
fox here. Oh, I love it so much. It gives you a +4 item bonus to deception checks. In addition to step, hide, or sneak, you can make a single stride action when you use the origami. It's perfect. It does exactly what you expect a fox to do. It's great. It's an illusion. All right. Um, and then Star Strike. You got paper ninja stars.
Yes.
Oh, another very
He's a
popular.
classic.
Yes, classic, absolute classic. They are little ninja stars. They do force damage. Super useful there. You could stack them and throw a bunch at once. And it'll increase the damage, which is why stack has a limit based on your level.
Yeah, I needed that.
Yes. You didn't want someone just
Just
throwing 500
saving up all
gold.
those stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're paper magic missiles almost.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Airball is really cool. I didn't know about this. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, now that I saw it, yeah, I get it now. So you smash it, it releases a big blast of fresh air. It does 1 point of splash
Mhm.
sonic damage, and that pushes away all obstacles in the air, weather effects, airborne swarms, gaseous poisons, paper crane swarms. And if it's underwater, it will create a 15-foot diameter sphere. So you'll get air for at least that one round until the end of your next turn. So it'll give everybody one breath, which is actually usually enough underwater. You could hold your breath for pretty long in Pathfinder. So that's
the
really
challenge of this one. This figure is called a water bomb, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I can't do a there's already a water bomb, so it's like, what can I do with it? And so I was really looking at conditions and effects recently, and I'm also a fan of Roll for Combat's 3-ring, and they always run into Zolgas, which are stinky. So I'm like, what can I do with air instead of a water bomb? So that's part of what made that come to be.
Oh, yes. One thing I want to point out here that I love about these consumables is I don't think there's any set DCs, which I absolutely love. There might be one or two, but there's not a lot. These all scale really well. Like all these items, like maybe Healing Heart would be the one where by level 10 or 11 you'll be like, I don't know, it's just a D8 hit points.
Yeah, whatever.
Even that is useful though. Like a lot of these are super useful all the way from level from level 1 to level 20. A lot of these are really useful. You're not going to you don't have to worry about buying these and, well, if I don't use it in the next 2 levels, I just have to throw it out. No, you don't. These are very useful items, which is something to really
They might wear out, though, let's be honest. They're kind of flimsy.
Oh, but they're reinforced with magic. It'll be fine.
Okay.
All right, so Rough Sailing, what does that do?
Okay, so that's the one. We were having some condition issues in a game recently. So this one, the boat goes out, and it's going to make the ground... Actually, I should double check the exact wording, but it's going to make it slick to a certain degree. Not exactly like a grease, but to be able to inflict, not just,
muddy, uneven
not just hazardous terrain. Yeah, muddy, uneven ground. Because making people, you're going to be flat, you're going to probably fall down when you're in there. Just, I love the conditions. It's like, I want to mess with people on the battlefield.
Gotcha. It also puts out fires.
Yeah, Sometimes that's what you need. I saw this. You could do. I tried to make some of these so you could do a few different things with them.
Awesome. The butterfly hover. I could think of a lot of different things you can do with that. Lets you hover a few centimeters off the ground, so you get to ignore difficult terrain, hazardous terrain, uneven ground, and probably a lot of other recently my players had to fight a puddle of water. That if they had this, they'd be fine. They would just be staring at it. And that's a 4th level, another origami you got here. And then you have the Crane Swarm. Super excited to see this. Oh man, this was like the weapon. I had an Origami Artificer in 3.5 Eberron that I themed all of his constructs as origami. It made it more fair that they could be more easily lit on fire. I love the idea of unleashing a magical crane swarm on somebody. And you
I was really worried about how to stat this out because it's not going to be traditional hit points or traditional things. I'm like, I hope this was okay. It's like, hey, it's a bunch of cranes. They'll go away a little at a time or a lot of time, and that. So I hope it's understandable. It'll be something fun, a little bit different. That would just be so funny, so frustrating. Just the cinematic, just go away, and you just can't get rid of them.
Right. And using the stacking trait's a perfect way to make sure that the swarm is variable the way it is.
I was trying to be very careful with cranes because there is the legend: if you fold 1,000 cranes, you get a wish, and no, you don't fold 1,000 cranes and get a wish in this. But I was almost like, should I make rules? Because you can only do so many a day, and you waste so many days on that. And I mean, you could buy. It was like, should I make it? If you do this for 3 years, you could get a wish. No. So I overthought the cranes for this.
Well, if you reach level 1,000,
Yeah.
No, I love it. So quick deposit. Oh man, this is such a neat little item. Man, it's a folded purse, and you could put like coins or something in it, and when you shut it, everything inside will disappear and appear in a stacked purse.
Mhm.
So it's a teleportation, great for smuggling, of course, is the first thing I think of with it. But um, there's a
Yeah.
lot you could do with this. It's really useful to have a one step above even a pocket dimension because it also transports it.
Mhm. But just a little bit, so I hope it's not
Oh yeah,
too
well I mean
big.
it's a consumable, so you're not going to be able to like
That's
move an
true. It's
entire
fine.
bank vault out one coin at a time.
No,
You'd need a lot of them for that. Uh,
just that one key.
yes, just the key, which should be enough. You have Spellbox, which lets you snap a spell into it, and then if you have Greater Spellbox, pop it out later and hit somebody with it.
Mhm.
Absolutely great. Love anything anti-magic. Snackbox lets
Oh
you
yeah.
you could benefit from once a day. It's a little I almost said bento box, but no, it's a little box. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can I suppose eat from it and get back a focus point. So that's great. Can be used while refocusing to recover. Oh, an additional focus point. I get it. Okay, cool. So it'll let you get that coveted second focus point.
Yes. Mhm.
Especially useful if you are not, if you have if you're a fighter or a ranger and you take an archetype that gives you focus spells, but now you have no way of getting that second focus point back.
Yeah. Mhm.
uh, unless you got that one feat from Knights of Last Wall, but that's only for certain archetypes. But yes, I digress.
Sure.
Uh,
Oh,
I
good.
I love having ways to get back bonus focus points. I think it's something the system really needs, so I'm glad to see this.
Everyone just needs a snack.
Everyone needs a snack. Yes, and I love cooking characters too. I love being able to
Oh.
pass out food to people. It's great. Falling petal. So
Mhm.
what does that do? Oh, that's simple. That's
Uh,
good.
it just lets you ignore just one time a condition.
Yes, lets you decrease the value of a condition by one. If it makes it 0, you
Mhm.
ignore it. Perfect. Yeah, it's pretty expensive, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
Yeah,
That's
just
a
block that one thing.
darn good item. Change coat lets you get chameleon coat. That is the little coat you showed earlier, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now I've covered it up. They're
It's
all in a
okay.
box over here.
That's okay. They could rewind the VOD and rewatch it all again.
Here we go.
Oh
Here's the
oh
coat.
there it is. Awesome.
I was writing it and I'm like, this is just chameleon coat. I'll just say it is rather than try to make it different. I kept coming back to it.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. And then Turtle Trot gives you a item bonus to AC, but a penalty to your speed for 1 minute when it's a fixture item. I love it. So yeah, so these are all really really useful talismans. They scale really well. Um, oh, and you do have. I do want to point out you did put. I didn't know this until 15 minutes before the show, but you did put a link to my Discord here in your thanks here at the end, and that's wonderful. That's really touching. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want everybody to come together and talk, and you've done so much to bring us together.
Aw.
I love being able to talk with all the other creators and people who are thinking about it, and just see what we can work on together.
Well, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. Uh, wow, that looks weird. Okay, cool. No, we're good. Um, my OBS just did something strange, and I don't know
Oh
why.
no.
But it's no big deal. We're still on here. It just made the
Okay.
PDF smaller, but that's fine.
Oh, I see now. Yeah, well,
Fit to width. Oops, that made it worse. Okay, we're fine. Yes, Origami Folder Archetype by Helen Savore. Really, really cool book. I absolutely love it. And of course, you also write Vellum and Lace with Vanessa
yes.
Hoskins,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me want to ask, when's the next one coming out?
So with the run up to PaizoCon, I'm not sure we're going to be meeting May, but nobody's going to be reading at the end of May anyways for PaizoCon.
Right.
I think we're going to be done with our personal edits maybe this weekend. Is Vanessa there? But it still has to go off to the editor. So June we'll have a double issue month probably.
Ooh.
And for anybody who's been following, in episode 8, the girls are finally going to get back together. We started this. they're having their adventures, getting into trouble, but we actually haven't put them in the same scene since the prologue because they're both overlaying their troubles. So you're gonna want to definitely check out in June. And we're talking about we'll probably do a bundle then for anybody who wants to just catch up on everything.
Oh, okay, cool. And
And
talking
then the
about
real adventure gets to start.
ooh, fun. I'm excited. And
Mhm.
talking about bundles, I did want to do a quick shout out. If anyone out there is an Infinite creator and I haven't already bugged you about it, we are assembling a bundle for PaizoCon, so please contact me. You can find me on my Discord at infinite.net or use any social media platform to contact me, and I will give you the information and the link. We'll be working on assembling the bundle next week. I just wanted to get that out there. There will be other PaizoCon news. You'll be able to see me next week, Friday, and you'll see the news about that if you keep an eye on my Discord or possibly the Paizo or my Twitter. You'll definitely see it there as well. Um, Great, great, great. And I also had a quick shout out here. Oh, other question. Other than origami and more vellum and lace, do you have any other infinite plans that you want to bring up?
Oh man. Probably not for a while. I did do the missing persons for Edgewatch, and I
Mm-hmm.
do have basically a through line, at least an idea for through lines for each of the missing persons. I don't know when I'm going to get back to that, I'll admit. And while I am having a lot of fun on it, oh, there it is. I am having a lot of fun on Infinite, but I
Mm-hmm.
do want to get back to some of my more traditional novel writing.
Right, right.
Um, Codename Pixie is really a passion project, and I feel sad I kind of had to sideline it. But gosh, that I'm sorry, that's a whole different discussion. But it's
No, it's
it's
fine. Go ahead.
it's fun in different ways.
Well, if you have any other shout outs you want to have or advertisements or anything like that, please go right ahead.
Yes. So I would not be participating in this community if not for Vanessa Hoskins. And I know everybody
Oh.
else knows she's awesome for so many things, but she saw Infinite was coming out and she approached me to help work on this world of Vellum and Lace with her.
Oh.
And it's not just that it brought me in here, but I've been having a lot of issues in health, and having Vellum and Lace to work on and being able to just, hang out with Vanessa to talk about stories and to, dig into this stuff
Mm-hmm.
with the community. It's I feel like it's kept me sane through the last few months.
Mm.
And none of that would have happened without Vanessa. So she is my favorite writing partner and a great friend, and I'm very grateful that she got me here, kept me sane. I get to work with all you guys too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Vanessa's amazing. I was
she is.
lucky enough to be able to work with her on No Direction last week as she had to shift focusing on Prime and let me have the reins for helping to produce No Direction Beyond, which I'm proud to say that I should be on the next time we have an episode.
Wonderful.
Uh, I've got to go. Thank you for the amazing stream. Oh, no problem. Thank you for watching, Hayden Pack. That's awesome. Uh, I also want to shout out real quick for the Pathfinder 2E subreddit, as they are still hosting the Brewmasters Compendium competition. The May competition is out. It is to create a tree of feats. You can submit it at the Pathfinder 2E subreddit. The contest should be pinned to the top. And among other judges that we'll have throughout the year for our various competitions, NoNat1 will be judging this line, and honorable mentions and finalists will be collated into the Brewmasters Compendium 2022, published on Pathfinder Infinite, with all proceeds going to charity. In addition, winners will get special flair on the subreddit, and we'll see their work illustrated with artwork used in the book. Um, Great. Also wanted to show off my own Infinite creation here that will be coming out on next week in time for PaizoCon. It is being edited right now, and it's going well. So I will be releasing Dullahan of Galarian as a 16-page pseudo expansion to Book of the Dead. It will have information on all the different kinds of headless undead in throughout Galarian. It will have a heritage, so you could be a Dullahan yourself. It will have an archetype if you would rather take that route. You could even do archetype and heritage and just get all the headless feats. It will have rules for a new divine force. It will have rules for a new weapon, the spine flail, and it should be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I hope a lot of people will enjoy playing headless marauders or PCs who happen to get their heads chopped off decide, instead of creating a new character, can I just play a headless? So yeah. For those of you who subscribe, please sync your Discord to your Twitch, and you'll be able to see the subscribers chat in my Discord at infiknight.net, where I throw all of my Infinite work before I announce it anywhere else. And any other things that I announce in advance, like such as my streaming shows, or stuff that I haven't quite completely fleshed out yet and might not ever release. So you might even see stuff there that will never be anywhere else. But before we leave for today, I do want to shout out and show off one more time this amazing archetype, the Origami Folder Archetype. Oops. Oh no. What happened? There we go. The Origami Folder Archetype.
Oh.
Which you can catch at Pathfinder Infinite at the link that will be thrown up in chat. Pathfinder Infinite, unfortunately, is still down right now, but I'm sure it will be up in time for PaizoCon, and you should be able to give it a whirl. As there will be adventures at PaizoCon, there's a good chance you might even be able to get into a one-shot and ask your GM, can I use this Origami Folder Archetype? But if you do, I highly recommend you contact the GM in advance so that they, too, can check out how awesome this archetype is. Oh, thank you for the cheer, Hayden. Oh, right, that was when you said you were... Okay, cool, I see that now. Haha, I'm totally getting used to my stream manager here. Great. Oh, man. So, yeah, I will be back on Tuesday for another Booster Bestiary. Thank you very, very much, Helen, for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was fun. I hope everybody, hey, anybody who tries it, let me know what you think. I'm very open for fixing things. We've already found a few things. And I'd love to work on more origami, like I said. So keep me posted.
Yeah, well, one thing that I love about Pathfinder Infinite is, yeah, I make mistakes in my books as well, and people catch it, and the FAQ time is instant. It's literally, let me just open InDesign and add that sentence or switch those two words around and re-upload it, and it's just instant. Which is great since we don't have to work with physical print or volume numbers or anything like that. We have that flexibility. Oh, so thank you again so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Please make sure to check out our Discord at infiknight.net. Thank you especially to our subscribers. Thank you to everyone in chat. And remember, there's infinite possibilities with Infiknight reviews.